Hi, I'm Bindu. Welcome to Beauty on the Radio. This is episode 11. I am founder of Vya Naturals, a natural skincare brand. You can read more about us on vyanaturals.com. It's spelled V-Y-A. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Our guest today is Apeksha Jain. Hi, Apeksha.
Hi Bindu, thanks for having me here.
Oh, it's lovely to have you. Before we start off, I'd like to share something very interesting with our listeners. Apeksha used to be a French language teacher and a food blogger before she became an entrepreneur. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
So let's get started, Apeksha. My first question to you is, tell us everything about Gourmet Jar. How did you get started? What is it all about? And where can one find your products?
Sure. I'm what I call an accidental entrepreneur. I never planned to get into the business world. It just so happened that I was living in Paris with my husband in 2009 while he was studying there. And on a holiday to a place in Burgundy, we stayed at this small bed and breakfast. And in the morning for breakfast, they served a banana jam that was completely freshly made without any artificial ingredients and had a very artisanal feel to it. My husband took a bite and he fell in love with it. And when we moved back to India, I was into food blogging at that time. And he used to keep talking about the banana jam and wishing that he could get it over here. I've always been a good cook and I've loved experimenting in the kitchen. I just thought to myself one day that it can't be so hard to make a preserve.
Oh, true, absolutely. How hard can it be, especially if you're a cook, right?
Yeah. So I just did some Googling and I turned up with my first batch of banana jam. I added some old monk to it to give it a little kick.
Oh, wow. So India's favorite rum.
Yeah. And my husband really loved it, and eventually I started experimenting with more flavors, and my friends and family started asking for bottles, and I saw a gap in the market then, and I thought why not put it out there for everybody else to enjoy. And that's how I just started Gourmet Jar in 2012 with a Facebook page. And
oh wow, okay.
For the first 2 years, it was a home run business. I was running it from my home kitchen, turning out hundreds of bottles myself. And eventually in 2015, I moved out of home into a production unit and hired a few people to help me out as I saw the opportunities and as retailers and hotels started approaching me to stock my products.
So there was this whole new opportunity waiting out there for you, and you just grabbed it, and you've grown and built the business.
Yeah.
To today, let me tell our listeners that Gourmet Jar has made quite a name for itself in the preserve and condiment category in the country.
Right. So the Gourmet Jar is a brand of premium condiments which include the preserves, relishes, mustards, honey and savory spreads like pesto. And everything that we do is all natural, preservative-free, handmade by a team of hardworking women. And
I've tried a lot of your products and I can promise you I'm a fan.
Thanks. And the biggest USP of our brand is that everything is very innovative. So the flavors that we do are something which is not the usual, so it's not boring. So we do things like mango jalapeno preserve, banana rum jam,
oh wow, that's
red
really
pepper pesto.
interesting.
Yeah.
I have to share something with you and our listeners, Apeksha. Actually, this was like a few months ago when you and I were speakers at the same conference. And on my way home, I stopped over to buy groceries from my favorite store, as I always do. I got a call, a friend of mine called up and said, you know what, somebody delivered this hamper in it, had this beautiful, so delicious, it's from Gourmet Jar. And I was like, Gourmet Jar? That sounds really familiar. Where have I heard the name? And I just realized that I had met you that afternoon.
Yeah.
And we'd spent the afternoon together at the conference. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Yeah, it's quite a crazy
He went on and
coincidence.
on about how good the products were and he loved them. And that was how I ended up shopping for your products for the first time. And I can say that I loved them just as much as he did.
Thanks. Nice to hear that.
As a woman entrepreneur, tell us how important is it for you to dress up for the job? Is that a big challenge, especially considering that you also have, you work in a factory where products are manufactured? You work with both men and women, but largely women, as you just said that a lot of your workforce is women. How important and how challenging is it to dress for work?
Yeah, I think it is very important in general, but I guess the more important thing is depending on your environment. And like you rightly said, I have a more kitchen setup and it's a manufacturing unit at the end of the day. And we do have, labor, which are mostly women, but we do have a couple of men as well. So, of course, for me, what's important is to dress in casual, comfortable clothes because that makes me comfortable throughout the day. And but yes, when you're going for meetings or when you have to step out and be in front of the world, then it's important to pay attention to what you're doing and what you're wearing. And for me, it's a big challenge because I'm not very fashionably inclined, I would say.
Oh, but you're very well dressed. I have to say, very well turned out. You put your clothes together very interestingly.
Thanks. I try my best. Yeah.
Awesome. Now let's move on to something more personal. Like, what is your skincare? And let me tell my listeners that your skin is fabulous. Your personal skincare routine. Like, do you use a lot of products? What kind of products do you shop for? And what do you do through the day, in the morning and in the evening at the end of the day?
So I think skincare is very important, especially I think the moment you cross over to the other side of the 30s, you realize the importance of it anyway.
It's the dark side, right?
Yeah. And for me, unfortunately, I don't think I do as much as I should. So I follow very basic CTM, cleanse, tone, moisturize.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, mornings is generally just face wash and some sunscreen. And in the evening, before sleeping, it's more like cleansing, toning, and then using a night cream and then some under eye cream as well.
Oh, awesome.
And,
so it's some me time in the evening.
Yeah.
Indulging in yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one thing, like once a week I do a face scrub, which I feel that helps me a lot in terms of keeping my clean.
Oh, yes, it does. I mean, as someone who's a founder of a skincare brand, I can tell you that scrubbing once a week is an excellent idea. And no wonder your skin's really nice.
And I've been using the Vya Naturals rose scrub. I think that's becoming my favorite.
Oh, that is so amazing to hear that. Awesome. Great. We're super happy. That's it for today. Thank you for listening in, and thank you, Apeksha, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you again sometime in the future and share a lot more stories with our listeners.
Of course. Yeah.
This is Bindu saying goodbye from Beauty on the Radio.